The military is deeply ingrained in this city's DNA. From the modern naval base of Devonport all the way back to perhaps this nation's greatest naval pioneer. One wonders what he'd make of the way our navy looks now.
4.5 centuries on from Sir Francis Drake's circumnavigation of the globe, and it's pretty clear that Britannia no longer rules the waves, nor the skies, nor the earth for that matter. But our armed forces remain one of the most important ways in which we as a nation project our power. That's why it's essential to regularly question what our military can and cannot do, and the way in which we treat those who fight our wars when they come home.
Having been in power for the best part of a decade, and having presided over the modern era's most significant cuts to our armed forces, the Conservatives must answer for their record. Brian served 2 years in the army, but then found himself in a home for homeless veterans run by the charity Alibre.
I was really depressed, really. I got into heroin then. That's when I got into the heroin. Basically trying to run away, I suppose. I don't know what was going on, really. It was weird. I come out and all my friends were all at it, so I just jumped on the bandwagon, really. And from then on, I've just been in and out of prison all my life. It was only when I lost my son that I really sorted my life out. You know, with the help of Jan and Nicky and my key worker Ali at Harbour and my friends in the house, I've sorted my life out.
David served almost 2 decades in the Navy, including a tour in Afghanistan, until he was medically retired.
It was really hard leaving one military family and joining the civilian side of it. It's that transition, and obviously I didn't know, due to my physical injuries, what I'd be able to do outside. And luckily, that's where Active Plus came along.
In Whitehall, the vultures are circling. Emboldened by a PM with precious little room for manoeuvre, the Defence Secretary now openly calls for more money, even if that in itself won't be enough. The local MP has been one of the armed forces' most vocal supporters of late. Little wonder, given that he himself served 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan.
I do think, there's been a significant problem since the early 2000s when we did Iraq, and we clearly committed to things we could not do. We did the same in Afghanistan. Some of us learnt the very painful lessons of that. And so people like me, I'm afraid, when you get into positions like I am now, are determined to sort of learn those lessons.
If the cuts continue in the way in which they have since the Conservatives came into power in the coalition, if there isn't that change in strategic direction that you're calling for, long term, will we be able to project power in the way we once were?
Well, no, we won't, and I don't think the British people will take that. The great thing about politics is that actually we're not in charge. If we don't get the basics right in this administration at the moment, of which I'm afraid defence is one of them, then we will pay a price at the ballot box.
But is there truly the political will to improve things, to roll back on almost a decade of downsizing? Absent such a desire, will people like Brian and David continue to put the needs of the country above their own? Neil Patterson, Sky News.